Hey everybody out there in the VC, this is Matt again, and hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving and had a happy Black Friday record store day, if in fact you partake in that particular holiday. Um, Wanted to do a video on that. I picked up a few things for in the last couple of days. I've seen several people on the VC Facebook page post what they picked up on Black Friday Record Store Day. Have only seen two videos so far. I don't know if just not looking in the right place or maybe there's more to come. I hope so because I like to watch those after each Record Store Day, and Black Friday Record Store Day. Can't get used to calling it that. I just call it Record Store Day. But I like to watch what everyone's got, and so I hope there's more videos to come on other pickups besides just the two I've seen before so far. Um, Maybe it has to do though with I've heard on people say that they were pretty underwhelmed with the selection this particular Black Friday list that came out, and I was too. I guess I don't. Looked through the list, I saw several things that thought that might be neat to have, but it wasn't anything urgent. There were just one or two, and maybe three things that I really wanted. Um, and as with every record store day, there were a couple of things that I wanted that I didn't get. They didn't have them. Thought the Dylan album would have been kind of cool to get. They didn't have one of those. I wanted the Ernie Kovacs picture disc Christmas record, and Zabriskie Point soundtrack was the other one that I wanted, and wasn't able to find any of those. But like I said, there weren't, and of those, I would have liked to have had all of those, but none of those were a matter of life or death for me. So if I find them for a good price somewhere down the road, that'll be nice. If I don't, I will live. So I got about five things here. We'll just start with that. First thing I got, they've done a Rolling Stone EP the last 3 or 4 record store days. This is, I think, going to be the final one. Got Live If You Want It, the 66 live album, which is in mono, the EP. This is not same title, but not the same. These songs are not on the album of the same name. Um, you have on this one, you have We Want the Stones, which isn't really a song, and it's kind of funny because they credit it to themselves. It's just the audience going, We Want the Stones, We Want the Stones. Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, Pain in My Heart, the old Otis Redding song, Route 66, I'm Moving On and I'm Alright. Pretty good little EP. The album, Got Live If You Want It, always kind of gets a bum rap because of the sound quality is pretty poor on it, which I have to agree is true. I always have liked it though because there aren't any other live albums of the Rolling Stones, even bootleg wise. I've only seen, I think there's one of them in Hawaii and one of them in France, like a 65 and a 66 concert bootlegs, and I haven't heard those, but so that's the only other live album out. Sound quality on this is actually a little bit better than it is on the album, but on the album it's not that great. It sounds better on headphones than it does without the headphones, but I always liked it. I just liked the energy of it, and would have been really cool to have seen the Rolling Stones in concert back in 65, 66 when they were, in my opinion, at their height and with all the craziness and whatnot going on. Of course, I was 2 or 3 years old, so that didn't happen. But anyway, uh, so that's I played this a couple of times, and it's pretty good stuff. I enjoy it. Um, this one, and I showed this on my Christmas video, but Christmas in Dixie with Blind Boys of Alabama and Old Flame with Jason Isbell and John Paul White. Isbell used to be in the Drive-By Truckers. White, I'm not sure who he is. It's on a kind of a cool, says silver and gold vinyl, I think, in the description, but it's kind of just a milky white. I don't know if that's really silver, but anyway, uh, it's okay. I didn't care for this one much, but I guess it's nice to have, as I said. The other one, and quite a few people have been showing this, Linus and Lucy from the Charlie Brown Christmas, one of my favorite songs, and Oh Good Grief is the flip side. both by Vince Guaraldi, so that's good and fun to have. I've got the Charlie Brown Christmas album, so have that before, but it's kind of neat to have that little 45 with the picture sleeve. The other one, and I haven't seen anyone else show this yet, is a little box set of 45s. Is Soulfire, Rough Funk at a Great Value Records, Tapes, and Funk 45s. This is a Soulfire was a label that, here's the other box. I opened this beforehand because it's kind of tricky to open. There's the sticker that came with it. This was limited, and I left my list in the car, so I'm not sure what the, all of these were limited pieces, I believe. I'm not sure limited to what. You get a sticker, it's kind of cool, and you get this little kind of like a heavy stock laminated card. There's a message from the guy that started the label back in 1999. But these are supposed to be old, kind of 70s sounding funk records. Here's the back of the box. There's the whole box if you're interested. And you get 8 45s in here. I have not had a chance to play all of these yet. I've played a couple of them. Kind of a cool label, I think. And I don't know any of these people, but the couple that I've listened to have been pretty good so far. Just haven't had time to sit down and listen to all 8. But each of the labels is same label, just different color. So there's a red one. Neat label, neat little box set. I'm looking forward to digging into that. The other one, this is one that I really wanted, the Linus and Lucy, just for the picture sleeve. I think it's kind of neat. Here's another one that I really wanted. This is the Doors Record Store Day, and this was curated by record store owners according to what I read on the Record Store Day website. And in fact, it says, if you can read that, curated by Record Store Day. It's side 1 is several songs in mono that are supposed to be rare mono versions of Break On Through, Soul Kitchen, Moonlight Drive, and When the Music's Over. Side 2 is stereo, but they're live versions of songs from various concerts. There's 2 versions of this. This is kind of like a cardboard sleeve, like a rough, they're all cardboard, but I mean kind of like a rough cardboard sleeve. 2 versions of this. They're both the same track listing, but one of them has handwritten by John Dinsmore on the back, and one of them has handwritten by Robbie Krieger on the back. I got the Krieger version, which is not really handwritten. It's just he wrote it by hand, and then they printed it on each of the jackets. He didn't actually sit there and write it on each individual record, unfortunately, because that would have been kind of cool. And I think there were 1,700 of these, if I'm not mistaken. And so that was one I really wanted, and the Linus and Lucy. The last one was another one that I really wanted to get. It was a little pricey. This was 80, like 90 bucks. Cheap Trick's first 5 albums, which is Cheap Trick, self-titled, In Color, the second, Heaven Tonight, At Budokan, and Dream Police. So I was happy to get this, and I've been listening to these, and it's been a lot of fun because the only Cheap Trick albums I ever had were At Budokan and Dream Police, and that was back in 79 and 80 when they were riding high on the charts. And I actually had those on 8-track tapes. I never had them on album or cassette or CD later. So it's good to finally get those 2 again on vinyl, and to get the first 3 that came before it on vinyl. And I've heard some of these songs. I mean, obviously the hits, but there's quite a few really good songs on here that weren't songs that got radio play or hits. So really good stuff. There's a contest going around right now, and I'm sorry I forget who is hosting it, but it's your favorite decade or your favorite 10-year period of music. Mine would predictably be the 60s, but I also second would be not quite a 10-year period, but kind of that 78, 77, 78 to about 84, 85 period. A lot of good stuff in that period, I think, and 79, 78, when, you know, Budokan and Dream Police, actually 79 and 80, I think those came out. But a lot of music from that 2 year period sounds really good and kind of unique, has its own style that wasn't around before or after, in my opinion. And similarly in kind of like the 81, 82 period, which doesn't sound anything like the 79 period. But so yeah, Cheap Trick. And I don't know past Dream Police. I know the album that George Martin produced that came out, and I can't remember the name of that and the hit song off of that. Haven't heard that in forever. Wouldn't mind getting a copy of that, but much past that, I'm not really familiar with Cheap Trick because I just kind of lost interest. They didn't show up on the radio too much anymore. And I know they had a hit with that song, The Flame, later in the 80s or early 90s, whenever that was. I never did like that song. But so past really this and maybe the album after this, I don't know how good they are. I'm or not familiar with them enough to comment on it. So, but I do. This stuff is really good, and it takes me back to ninth grade, and I saw them in 1980 when I would have been probably in 10th grade at Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth. It's a really good concert. So this is fun to have. Nothing extra in here. It's just the albums as they were. Each one of the albums has a insert with it, mostly lyric sheets. A couple of them have some information about how the band was formed in the first one. No booklet or anything. And these are also individually numbered. Number 1707 I got out of however many they made, and I'm not sure. And the Doors album is, yeah, there were 7,500 Doors albums. I'm sorry, so I got 2294 of 7,500. So that's it. That's what I got for this year's record store day. Wasn't a whole lot of stuff that I wanted on the list, which is okay because I don't need to be spending the money right now anyway. But like I said, there's one or two other things that I wouldn't have minded getting, like the Dylan album and the Zabriskie Point and the Ernie Kovacs. But if I find them, I find them. Again, I've said this before, but I don't buy stuff off of eBay. I have, but it's been years. But I do look to see what things are doing occasionally, and I know that after every record store day, you go on there and you can see these records that are selling for ridiculous prices. But the secret to that is if you check the stuff from the record store days past, even the one just a few months back this year or from previous years, it's listed, and they rarely ever sell, and they don't sell for that much when they do. So if you really want something and you don't get it, don't run out there and spend $100. You don't have to have it this week. Just wait 6 months, a year, and look around on eBay, and maybe you can find it for a pretty good deal. Anyway, I was rambling on again. So hope everybody has a good weekend and had a good record store day. Hope some more people make videos of what they got for record store day. Maybe a lot of people didn't bother with it this year. I don't know, but there just haven't been too many videos. And I hope some more people make Adam Lee and Willow's Christmas, Show Your Christmas albums, because those have been fun to watch. So have a good weekend, everyone, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.